Pix 11 is your local election headquarters, and while we know Zohran Mamdani is claiming victory in the New York City mayoral race, there are other matchups to cover, from borough presidents to public advocate.
That's right. Our Kirsten Cole has more on those races, which some of won't be called until that July ranked choice voting plays out. And all eyes are focused in the mayoral race, but there were key ones like comptroller and public advocate.
Yes, and ones that were very hotly contested with a lot of interesting players, Dan and Hazel. You know, some of these races were very direct, like public advocate, but others, like the Manhattan Borough President with multiple candidates, still needs to see that ranked choice come into play. Let's take a look at the numbers that we have for you, starting with the comptroller's race. Mark Levine, the current Manhattan Borough President, the projected winner here with 48% of the vote, compared to City Council member Justin Brannan, 34% of the vote. Now, Pix 11 brought you the fiery debate between the two contenders for public advocate, incumbent Jumaane Williams versus Assembly member Jennifer Rajkumar, who not only waged an aggressive challenge calling for him to resign over a sex scandal in his office, she actually slightly out-fundraised him. Now, while the advocate has few official duties, it is seen as a real stepping stone to higher office in the city. The race has been called for Williams, 71% of the votes, to Rajkumar with 19%. Ranked choice voting will be needed in the run for the Manhattan Borough President's race. If State Senator Brad Hoylman-Siegel does not crack the 50% threshold, he's just 1 point away, currently sitting at 49, leading the pack over Keith Powers and Calvin Sun, who was an emergency room doctor with no previous political experience. The race is called for Antonio Reynoso in the Brooklyn Borough President, easily besting his competitor Kari Edwards, 77 to 22%. And a similar story in the Bronx, where we saw incumbent Vanessa Gibson handily taking that race, 68% over her challenger, council member Rafael Salamanca, with 31%. She is the first black woman elected to this position. The Manhattan DA's race will not go to ranked choice, as incumbent Alvin Bragg takes 74% of the vote over challenger Patrick Timmons with 26%. He tried to argue that Bragg allowed crime to proliferate in Manhattan. Ranked choice voting results in the races that need to be decided. They won't be official until July, depending on how many rounds it takes to arrive at 50% of the vote. Could take up to 2 weeks. Dan and Hazel, it's so interesting to watch how all this plays out. Slightly newish space for us as we navigate all of the ranked choice.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. People are tuning in, and this is the real-time thing. People are really paying attention. Last time it was so novel of an idea with ranked choice that people are really laser-focused, not only on going to the ballot, but how it plays out in the aftermath.
And it was so great to see how many we saw in the early voting, doubling what we saw last time, a real sort of marker of the interest.
Exactly.
Yeah, clearly made a difference this time. Kirsten, thank you.
Sure.